Hey everyone, Speedyfighter here. I am back, and this time I'm reviewing the newest episode of Game of Thrones, Episode 9, Battle of the Bastards. So real quick, if you haven't seen the episode, make sure you go watch the episode first, catch up, then come and watch the rest of this video. So I'm going to put up a spoiler alert right now. I'm going to give you a couple seconds, spoiler alerts, catch up, and then come back and watch this video. So let me get right into the video. So the episode, this was like probably the most highly anticipated episode so far for sure of the season. I mean, it's Jon Snow versus Ramsay Snow. How can you not be excited for that? But it starts off actually with Daenerys, and it was actually an amazing scene. And probably as far as special effects go on Game of Thrones, this was probably one of the best CGI I've seen, if not the best in the entire series. So it starts off with Daenerys. She returns to Marine. The masters are attacking the pyramids, are attacking the city, and then they have three of the masters basically come up and have a negotiation with Tyrion and Daenerys, because originally Daenerys' plan was just let's just burn them all, but kind of Tyrion talked to her, and I really like this about Tyrion is he's kind of he's just good. Like he's definitely a person you want on your side if you're hoping to change the world for the better. So he basically convinced Daenerys that's exactly what her father, the Mad King, would have done. So he kind of gives her a different approach. Let's do negotiations, which is what Tyrion's always best at. So they do this little negotiation. It was like really awesome, but the masters are so cocky. They think, oh well, we have the upper hand, so you have to bend to our commands, essentially. But then Daenerys proves to them that that's not the case, because you see, she calls in one of the dragons, and the dragon comes in. She gets on his back and starts riding the dragon. But like, the CGI on the dragon was way better. I think personally, way better than I've seen in any other time that I've seen the dragon appear. It was just such a cool scene when the dragon just appears. Everyone's like in shock and comes down right next to Daenerys, and it's just like this huge thing, just like is literally like led by this little woman. It's just awesome to see. But and then they end up finally releasing the other two dragons, and so all three dragons are on the loose, and essentially they start wreaking havoc on the masters' ships. And then you end up seeing more like, it's just basically Daenerys starts dominating, and the masters like, oh shit, okay, I guess Daenerys has the upper hand, so now we have to bend to her will. And they're all being soft and whatnot, and then Grey Worm ends up killing two of the three of the masters that were in the negotiation, and then tells the other one to let your people know what happened here, kind of thing. So the first 15 minutes was all about Daenerys, but it was pretty quick, but it was awesome. It was satisfying. I definitely want to see more, of course, but at the same time, honestly, I was just like probably everyone here, I was waiting for the battle with Jon Snow and Ramsay Snow. So then the rest of the episode was all about that, which is great. You get, I'd say probably 40 minutes, 30 to 40 minutes of the episode was all the Battle of the North. So then you have a scene where Jon Snow and Sansa meet up with Ramsay, and they kind of talk like I guess you could say potential peace terms. And that's when Jon Snow tells Ramsay, thousands of men don't have to die, just one of us. So he challenges him to a one-on-one fight for the battle, to win the battle. And of course, Ramsay Snow's not going to do it. And in all honesty, I don't blame Ramsay Snow, because as much as I hate the guy, at the same time, he's smart by not doing that, because he knows, he even says that he's like, the things that I hear from the Northerners about you, you're like this legendary swordsman. So like, it would be like a stupid idea for Ramsay to actually do that one-on-one battle against Jon Snow, and Jon Snow would definitely win. Like, there's no question about it. He would win in a one-on-one fight against Ramsay for sure. And so he knows that. He's like, well, Ramsay has the upper hand. He has like 6,000 men strong. I thought it was 5,000, but then he said in the episode he has 6,000. So maybe now he has 6,000 men strong, right? So whereas Jon Snow maybe has not even half, like he might have half of that. I'd say maybe not even half of that. So it just doesn't make sense for Ramsay to do the one-on-one battle, since he can easily win the war. And at the same time, Ramsay doesn't give a shit about anyone else. He doesn't care. He loves to watch death and people die and, suffer and whatnot. So in all honesty, he doesn't really give a shit about watching his men die. He doesn't care at all. So, so that's the case. But obviously, then they prove to Jon Snow and Sansa that they have Rickon. They throw the direwolf's head down, which sucks. But at the same time, like, it's so weird because yeah, that doesn't look like the direwolf's head. It looks too small. I mean, I don't understand why they couldn't get a bigger prop head to make it look more accurate. Like a direwolf's head, to me, it just looked like a regular wolf's head. But we do know he has Rickon. We do know. We don't know. I guess at that point we didn't know. There's theories that like Ramsay's gonna get betrayed by like the Umbers and all that. But unfortunately, obviously, you know, if you're staying tuned to this video, you know what's happened in the episode. And yes, so that did not happen. There was no Ramsay did not get betrayed at all. None of that crap. That unfortunately didn't happen. I was kind of hoping that would, but it didn't. But yeah, so you know, they talk, whatever. Nothing gets accomplished other than, you know, we're gonna fight the next morning. And so after that, you have the night, and it was kind of funny. You have Tormund was talking with Davos, and like Tormund's like, you know, I have to drink before I go to sleep before a battle. And then Sir Davos is like, you know, he invites him for drinks, and Sir Davos is like, nah, like I can't drink before a battle. He's like, I can't even sleep before a battle. He's like, I just So Tormund's like, what do you do? He's like, I literally just walk around all night until I shit out my guts. And Tormund's just like, well, happy shitting. So it was pretty funny. But then you end up, and that the main reason for that whole situation was for you know, Davos to see what happened and what Melisandre did and what Stannis did to his daughter and whatnot. So that was kind of, I guess, sad. I mean, they didn't explore it too much. I think they're gonna. It seems to me like they're gonna be exploring that more later on in possibly the season finale. So we'll see what happens. But it's definitely, Sir Davos is definitely not happy, and I don't know, man. I don't know if Melisandre is gonna survive. I don't think Sir Davos is gonna be able to handle himself and not putting like a knife in her throat, like slicing her throat open or something like that. So, and Sir Davos, this saying a lot because Sir Davos is a pretty noble, honorable guy, but like, you know, what Melisandre did was horrifying, and you know, we'll see what happens next episode. But this episode we didn't really get that explored at all, other than Sir Davos giving Melisandre the murder face, which I thought was kind of cool at the end of the episode. But there's some, you know, bigger fish to fry right now, which was Ramsay and his Bolton army. So it goes into the battle, and you have both forces kind of standing on opposite sides, and you also have like Ramsay's infamous X signs with burning, like, flayed bodies on them, of course, on his side. But basically, you see Jon Snow walk up to the front of his army. Ramsay Snow walks up to the front of his army. However, Ramsay Snow has a twist. He's got Rickon Stark with him, so not surprising. And then he ends up kind of taking out a knife, and you kind of think, well, was he going to kill Ramsay Snow? But I knew he wasn't. Like, I knew it, because, I mean, was he going to kill Rickon Stark? He's not going to kill himself. Was he going to kill Rickon Stark? But I knew that wasn't going to happen, because it's just not like Ramsay to make it that simple. I mean, he wants to have his entertainment. So he ends up letting Rickon go and tells Rickon, run to your brother. The faster you run, the faster you'll see your brother. And then Jon Snow goes on horseback to try to catch up to him, and he starts shooting. Ramsay Snow starts trying to shoot Rickon with arrows, and I'm pretty sure, to be honest, he was all those arrows he was actually missing on purpose. And then right when Jon Snow's about to grab him, he gets hit in the heart with an arrow, and Rickon dies. But because of that, Jon Snow snaps and charges, when in reality his plan was, and what his plan should have been, was to wait for Ramsay to push and them to be patient, because that would be the only way they might have a chance of winning because of the numbers and whatnot, right? But Jon Snow made the mistake. He charged, so all his men charged, and this scene was so epic. When you see him charging, his horse gets killed by the arrows, and he's just standing there, and then Ramsay Snow sends his cavalry off after him, and all you see is like thousands of horses rushing at Jon, and it just looks like Jon Snow's gonna give up at this point. He's like, he just accepted his fate, but he just takes out his sword and gets ready, and I thought that was the coolest thing. That's one of the reasons I think Jon Snow is like the coolest character in this show. So that was amazing. But the battle was just ferocious, just gory as hell. They, lots of death. There's a few scenes were just crazy. They end up getting surrounded, but in the end, the Knights of the Vale come with Littlefinger and Sansa, and which I think everyone expected. They save the day, and then they defeat the army, the Bolton army, and then of course Ramsay runs back to Winterfell to hide in his little castle, and one breaks down that door, man. He breaks down the fucking door, But Ramsay fucking finishes off 1-1. So 1-1's dead, and I was really actually sad about that because I loved 1-1. So rest in peace 1-1. But we got what a satisfying ending do we get. So Ramsay's like, you know what, I changed my mind. Let's do that 1-on-1. So he starts shooting arrows. Jon Snow, blocks with a shield, knocks him down, catches up to him, knocks him down, and just beats him to a bloody pulp, man. He sees Sansa and he kind of stops beating him and just leaves him. There's two reasons why he might have done that. One, maybe he just didn't want Sansa to watch him do that. It just didn't feel comfortable. Or two, maybe he literally was keeping him alive for Sansa. I think that might have been the case, to be honest. But yeah, so they keep Ramsay alive, and he's basically put into he's in a chair in like the dungeon where his hounds are. So Sansa comes up to him, confronts him, basically makes him look basically tells him, you're nothing, you'll always be nothing, no one will remember you. And I love that too. So that little stab in the heart. And then she feeds him to his hounds, and he's like, oh, they won't eat me, they won't do that, they're loyal. And then they just all devour him, and I was just like, wow, what a satisfying way to go. So this episode was amazing. Best in the season for sure. One of the best episodes I've seen in Game of Thrones in general. It might even be my favorite episode. I think everything about it was amazing. I hope you all enjoyed it as much as I did. It definitely got me going. I think I was screaming a bit because I just wanted Ramsay to die so much, and I was so happy for that. So overall, best episode of the season, one of the best episodes of the series, if not the best episode. I really loved it. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and share this video, and also make sure to subscribe for my season finale review as well. Anyways, everyone, take care and peace out.